Well, hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to part 3 of our lesson on equations. I know we're doing a lot of lessons on this, but it is very important that you understand it. This is an entire domain of mathematics. So, let's go ahead and review. Let's say I give you the equation 4x minus 2 equals 6. Alright, well my steps are the same as always. Number 1, draw out your scale. Number 2, eliminate the number furthest away from the variable by doing its opposite. Number 3, eliminate equally on both sides. And number 4, make sure you leave the variable alone. Okay? Well, let's go ahead and do that. So, first step, we draw out the scale, the balance. Perfect. Number 2, eliminate the number furthest away from the variable. Okay, let's identify that my variable is x. Now, which number is furthest away from the x? The 4 or the 2? That's right, it's the 2. So, we eliminate by doing the opposite. Right now we're subtracting. What's the opposite of subtract? Add. The opposite of minus 2 is plus 2. Remember step 3, we have to eliminate equally on both sides. So if we're doing a plus 2 over here, we have to do a plus 2 over here as well. Perfect. Now we can bring down the 4x. We haven't touched that, so we can just bring it down. Negative 2 plus 2, well, they're opposites. They're going to cancel out. That's 0. I don't have to write anything down. Bring down the equal sign, and 6 plus 2 is 8. Perfect. Okay, now step 4 tells me leave the variable alone. Technically, the variable is not alone yet. It has a 4 next to it. When you have a number and a variable next to each other, touching, it's always multiplication. There's no sign in between these two, so it's multiplication. What is the opposite of multiplying by 4? Dividing by 4. And if you do it on the left, you have to do it on the right. And now let's solve. 4 divided by 4 is 4 divided by 4 is 1. 1 is the invisible number, so I just bring down my x. I bring down my equal sign, and 8 divided by 4 is 2. Boom, I have my answer. Now, let's move on to a different type of equation that I haven't taught you before. Okay? You still use the same steps. You always use the same steps. That's the really nice thing about math. Nothing ever changes. You always do things the exact same way. Okay, so let's say I tell you z divided by 3 plus 2 equals 13. Oh no, Mr. Pearson, this is weird. This is different. No, there's no way we can do this. You have your steps. Follow them. First step, draw out your balance. Second step, eliminate the number furthest away from the variable. Well, the step's the same. Let's go ahead and identify the z is the variable. Guys, what do you think is further away from z? The 3 or the 2? It's the 2. So what's the opposite of plus 2? It's minus 2. And if we're doing it on the left, step 3 says we need to eliminate it equally on both sides. So we're going to do it on the right. Now, okay, let's keep on going. This we haven't changed. So I can bring down the z divided by 3. I haven't touched that. 2 minus 2, well that cancels out. 2 minus 2 is 0. Let me bring down the equal sign. 13 minus 2 equals 11. Perfect. Okay. Step 4 says leave the variable alone. Does the variable look alone right now? No, it has a divided by 3. Now think about this. We eliminate by doing the opposite, right? So if we eliminate by doing the opposite, and currently z is being divided by 3, what's the opposite of divide? Multiply. So the opposite of divide by 3 is multiply by 3. If you do it on the left, you do it on the right. Now, if you have a divide by 3 and a multiply by 3, they cancel out. You don't have to worry about it. You bring down the z, you bring down the equal sign, and 11 times 3 is 33. Boom, there's your answer. Not so difficult, is it? Let me give you another example so you can get comfortable with it. Okay, So for this one, I'm going to go ahead and give you m divided by 5 minus 2 equals 3. First step, draw the equal sign. The balance around the equal sign. Second step, let's identify that my variable is m, and ask yourself which number is further away from m, the 2 or the 5? Well, it's the 2. The 2 is furthest away. Currently, you have a minus 2. What's the opposite of minus? Plus. So plus 2, and if you do it on the left, you have to do it on the right. Plus 2. Perfect. I can bring down m divided by 5. I haven't touched that, so I can just bring it down. Now, negative 2 plus 2, well, those are opposites. They cancel out. They equal 0. I don't have to write 0 down. I bring down my equal sign, and 3 plus 2 is 5. Great. Now, I'm not done yet. Step 4 tells me leave the variable alone. And just like in the last one, the variable is not alone. It's currently being divided. Now, think about it. You eliminate by doing the opposite. What is the opposite of divide by 5? The opposite of divide is multiply. Multiply by 5. You do it on the left, you must do it on the right. Multiply by 5. Now dividing by 5 and multiplying by 5 are opposites. They cancel out. So let's bring down the m. Let's bring down the equal sign, and 5 times 5 is 25. Boom, you're done. Let's do one last example, just one. Okay, so let's say that I give you 1 equals negative 5 plus n over 7, n divided by 7. No need to panic. Step 1, draw your scale, your balance around the equal sign. Perfect. Step 2, eliminate the number furthest from the variable. Alright, well, we decided that the n is going to be the variable. Which number is furthest away from n? Is it 7 or 5? It's 5. 5 is furthest away. Currently you're doing minus 5. The opposite of minus is plus. So plus 5. And if you're doing it on the right, you have to do it on the left. Plus 5. Perfect. Let's work it out. 1 plus 5 is going to be 6. Bring down the equal sign. Negative 5 minus 5. These are opposites. They cancel out. They give you 0. And then I can bring down the n divided by 7, which I haven't touched. Now please notice, I didn't bring down the plus sign because I don't have to. It's positive. If it's a positive number, I don't have to touch it. It's just n divided by 7, okay? Now, question, am I done? No, I'm not. Currently, the n is being divided by 7. I have not left the variable alone. I need to do that. What's the opposite of divide by 7? Multiply by 7. And once again, if I do it on the right-hand side, I need to do it on the left as well. So I'm going to go ahead and multiply it by 7, okay? So, dividing by 7 and multiplying by 7 cancel out. It leaves me with n equals 7 times 6, which is 42. That's my answer. Now, let's imagine that I want to check my work because, I don't know, I feel kind of weird about this one. Let me just check it. All right. Well, to check your work, let's go ahead and be organized. Okay, let's divide our notes here into 2 separate sections. All right, let's go. To check my work, what I'm going to do is I'm going to rewrite the original equation. 1 equals negative 5 plus n divided by 7. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the n that I found over here on the left, and I'm going to replace the n with the number. So n equals 42, right? All right, let me just fill in 42. Now remember, PEMDAS. Parentheses, exponents, multiplication and division on the same tier, addition and subtraction on the same tier. So, let's solve. First, I draw out my balance, and then let's follow the rules of PEMDAS. I have no parentheses, that's done. I have no exponents, that's done. There's no multiplication, but there is division. So I do that first. 42 divided by 7. Well, that should give you 6. 42 divided by 7 is 6. So let's rewrite this. 1 equals -5 plus 6. Okay. Now, is there any subtraction to be done? No, but there is some addition to be done. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. -5 plus 6. If you remember your rules for adding and subtracting negative numbers, the signs are different, so you're going to subtract. Yeah? You're going to subtract. 6 minus 5 is 1. And you're going to keep the sign of the bigger number. The bigger number is 6. Its sign is positive. So the 1 is going to be positive. And now, let's just double check. The answer that you got on the right was 1. Yeah? And the answer on the left is also 1. These two equal out. You are correct. You're done.